My dear brothers and sisters, I speak today to the chosen ones, the carriers of light, the warriors of truth, and those who have been set apart for a higher calling. You see, the path of the chosen one is not only spiritual but also financial. The enemy knows that if he can rob you of your resources, he can slow down your mission. If he can put chains around your finances, he can silence your voice and cripple your divine assignment. But today, I will uncover the 9 dangerous traps that steal money from a chosen one. When you recognize them, you will no longer fall prey to these tricks. Instead, you will walk in wisdom, abundance, and the prosperity that God Himself has destined for you. Before we go deeper, I want to pause and say this: if this message finds you at the exact moment you needed it, then it was not by accident. The Spirit led you here. Do me one favor. Hit the subscribe button right now, because what I am about to share will change your relationship with money and with your calling forever. And for those who know deep inside that this message was delivered to them at the right time, type 1111 in the comment section below for divine blessings to align with your life. Now, let us begin to expose the traps that have stolen money from chosen ones for generations. 1. Impulse spending. Chosen ones are often emotional beings. They feel deeply, they empathize strongly, and they carry within them a heart that is moved by the cries of others and the whispers of their own emotions. This gift of sensitivity is what allows them to connect with humanity in a way few can. But it is also the very weapon the enemy uses against them. Impulse spending is one of the easiest traps to fall into because it masquerades as comfort, generosity, or even celebration. You see a beautiful item and before thinking twice, you purchase it. You feel sad, and instead of sitting with your emotions, you soothe yourself with a shopping spree or a quick meal that empties your wallet. Sometimes you give money away without checking if God truly wanted you to, simply because your emotions were stirred. The truth is that chosen ones, with their compassionate hearts, can easily be manipulated into pouring out their resources in unwise ways. The enemy whispers, "You deserve it," or "They need you now," and without spiritual discipline, you fall. But let this be known: discipline with money is a form of spiritual warfare. It is a declaration that you will not be ruled by emotions or manipulated by temporary satisfaction. Every dollar you protect is more than just currency. It is a shield guarding your destiny, your calling, and your future. When you waste resources, you weaken your shield. But when you control your spending, you build a fortress around your purpose. 2. Wrong associations. Your circle will either multiply your money or drain it. And this is one of the most overlooked truths among chosen ones. Many step into their calling with pure intentions, but they are quickly surrounded by people who do not see their vision. They only see their provision. Friends, relatives, or even church members suddenly become entitled to their finances, always stretching out their hands, but never contributing to the mission. This is not generosity, it is sabotage wrapped in the appearance of relationship. Some chosen ones find themselves unable to rise because every time they begin to climb, someone in their circle pulls them back down with constant requests, guilt-tripping, or manipulative demands. You must learn to discern who is truly aligned with your destiny and who has been sent as a drain. There are people who will never help you build, never sow into your vision, and never pray for your increase. But they will always be present when your harvest comes. Chosen one, you must understand that your resources are not just money, they are divine tools for your mission. When you give them to wrong associations, you are not just losing cash, you are weakening your ability to complete your assignment. Be wise, set boundaries, and remember that saying no does not make you unloving, it makes you obedient. Every wrong association you cut off is space made for divine partnerships that will elevate you to the next level. Drite debt. Debt is one of the most powerful financial prisons ever designed by the systems of this world. It is a silent chain that binds chosen ones and keeps them from fully walking in the freedom God intended. When you are buried in debt, your time, energy, and prayers are often consumed not by your divine calling but by the stress of repayment schedules, late fees, and endless interest. It is a clever trap. Instead of serving God with joy, you end up serving bills and creditors, enslaved to systems that profit from your bondage. Debt robs chosen ones of peace, steals their creativity, and ties up resources that could have been invested into kingdom work. Hear me well. Debt is not just financial, it is spiritual. It creates a chain around your anointing, making it difficult to move forward freely. But here is the good news. No matter how heavy the chains, they can be broken. You may not get out of debt overnight, but with discipline, prayer, and wise action, you can walk step by step into freedom. Refuse to live by the lie that debt is normal or acceptable. God has called you to be a lender, not a borrower. Break free little by little until you owe no man anything but love. The more financial freedom you gain, the lighter your spirit will feel, and the more room you will have to walk boldly in your divine assignment without being weighed down by financial slavery. 4. Lack of financial education. Many chosen ones pray earnestly for abundance, declaring blessings and breakthroughs, but fail to study the principles required to manage wealth when it comes. Without wisdom, money will always slip through your hands like water. This is why Scripture tells us clearly, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." Spiritual power alone is not enough. You must combine it with financial wisdom. Too often, chosen ones receive money but waste it because they never learned how to budget, invest, or multiply it. Some think praying for increase is enough, but God cannot bless poor stewardship. If you hand water to a leaking vessel, no matter how much you pour, it will always run dry. The same is true with finances. If you refuse to learn, you will keep cycling through lack no matter how many breakthroughs come. The enemy counts on your ignorance, knowing that what you do not understand will always control you. But chosen one, you must rise above this. Read books on money, seek mentors, learn about saving, and discipline yourself in stewardship. You do not need to become a financial genius, but you do need to understand the basics of managing what God gives you. Spirituality without knowledge will keep you limited, but when you marry divine wisdom with financial education, you become unstoppable. Do not perish in ignorance when knowledge is all around you. 5. Emotional giving. Chosen ones are generous by nature, and generosity is indeed a divine law. Giving opens doors, breaks chains, and invites abundance into your life. However, the enemy is subtle. He perverts this divine principle and manipulates chosen ones into giving emotionally rather than strategically. Emotional giving often comes when your heart is stirred in the moment, without prayer or discernment, leading you to sow into wrong ground. Some people, out of guilt, manipulation, or pity, will push chosen ones into giving where God never instructed them to. This is dangerous, because when you place your resources in the wrong soil, there will be no harvest. Even Jesus warned us, "Do not cast your pearls before swine." Not everyone deserves access to your generosity. Giving without discernment is like watering weeds instead of crops. You end up exhausted with nothing fruitful to show. True giving requires alignment with God's instructions. When you give where God leads you, your seed multiplies. But when you give emotionally, you are often left drained, both spiritually and financially. Learn to pause before releasing your resources. Ask God, "Is this where you want me to sow?" and follow His guidance. Generosity is holy, but only when paired with wisdom. Protect your giving, and it will protect your future. 6. Procrastination. The chosen one often carries visions, dreams, and divine assignments far bigger than themselves. Ideas are placed in your spirit not just as random thoughts, but as seeds from heaven, meant to be acted upon. But one of the sharpest weapons of the enemy is delay. Procrastination whispers, "Do it tomorrow," and tomorrow becomes next week, then next month, until the vision fades. Every idea delayed is money lost. Every dream put off is a door closed. Chosen one, understand this. The world is not waiting on your perfect timing, it is waiting on your obedience. The longer you hesitate, the more opportunities pass by, and the more your destiny is stalled. God never asked for perfection before movement, He asked for faith. Faith itself requires action. and action must often be immediate. Stop waiting for everything to align perfectly: resources, connections, or confidence. Move when God tells you to move. Take the first step even if it feels small, for obedience in small things unlocks bigger things. Procrastination robs chosen ones more than failure ever could, because, at least failure teaches a lesson, but procrastination teaches nothing. Shake off the spirit of delay. Rise up, and take bold steps toward your calling. The time is now, not later. 7. Laziness in purpose. A chosen one who abandons their divine assignment becomes a playground for poverty. You cannot ignore your calling and expect provision to flow. The truth is that heaven finances vision, not idleness. Many chosen ones fall into the trap of laziness, not necessarily physical laziness, but spiritual laziness, ignoring the work God has placed in their hands. Instead, they chase after things God never called them to do, wondering why provision seems blocked. Your money, your influence, and your breakthroughs are tied to your purpose. When you step out of alignment, you step out of provision. Laziness in purpose leads to wasted time, wasted energy, and wasted resources. It creates frustration because you begin to toil in fields that were never meant for you. Chosen one, do not waste your life chasing shadows when God has already given you substance. If you are struggling financially, ask yourself, am I walking in my divine assignment, or am I avoiding it? The moment you return to the work heaven gave you, resources will begin to align. Do not give the enemy the satisfaction of watching you waste your calling through inaction. Focus on your mission, and watch how provision follows obedience. 8. Comparison. Comparison is one of the enemy's cleverest traps because it steals both joy and money at the same time. Chosen ones often fall into this trap when they look around and see others prospering, achieving, or displaying material wealth. Instead of celebrating their unique path, they begin to feel inadequate, leading them to spend beyond their means in an attempt to keep up. But you were not chosen to copy, you were chosen to stand out. The danger of comparison is that it shifts your focus from your purpose to someone else's journey. Every time you chase trends instead of divine instruction, you waste resources on things that have no eternal value. The car they drive, the clothes they wear, the vacations they take. None of it has anything to do with your calling. The enemy knows that if he can make you insecure enough to imitate others, he can drain your finances and distract you from your true mission. Chosen one, hear this: your blessings are tailor-made for you. No one else can walk in your lane, and you cannot prosper in theirs. Stay in alignment, be content with your process, and trust that your time of manifestation will come. Joy and provision are found in authenticity, not imitation. 9. Ignoring divine wisdom. The greatest financial trap of all is ignoring the whispers of the Spirit. God, through His Spirit, often gives instructions that protect your finances. Don't buy that, don't invest there, wait, or move now. These whispers are not random, they are divine guidance meant to guard your destiny. But many chosen ones silence this voice, leaning on logic, emotions, or advice from others. When you ignore divine wisdom, you expose yourself to losses that could have been avoided. The Spirit is your greatest financial advisor, far above any book, mentor, or system. He sees the traps before they come, and knows the exact timing for your breakthroughs. When you walk in obedience, you position yourself for abundance. But when you ignore His guidance, you often find yourself entangled in regrets, wondering why things did not work out. Chosen one, you must understand that divine wisdom is not optional, it is survival. The enemy sets traps daily, but the Spirit reveals the way of escape. Never trade divine instruction for human reasoning. When God whispers, take it seriously. That one word could save you years of struggle or thousands of dollars. Obey His leading, and you will walk in abundance that cannot be shaken. Beloved chosen one, the battle over your money is more than financial, it is spiritual. Each of these traps was designed to distract you, weaken you, and stop you from fulfilling your mission. But now that they are exposed, you are equipped to break free. Walk in wisdom, manage your resources with discipline, and never forget that prosperity in the hands of a chosen one is not just for comfort, it is for purpose. This is the Chosen Seer channel. If this message blessed you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And again, type 1111 in the comments if you know this came to you in divine timing. Blessings, abundance, and wisdom will follow you always. Thank you for watching.